Well, it's my pleasure to be here with Waleed Alsharian, the group CEO of Mabanee.
Thank you.
I wanted to start with just a brief overview for those who aren't familiar with your business and what you do. If you could just introduce the Mabanee group and especially the retail avenues concept, which I think is so pivotal and critical to your retail offering. Why, in a way, just kind of summarize what the Mabanee group stands for.
First of all, Mabanee established in 1964 as a construction company to build up a housing project. It's established by the government of Kuwait. Then in the end of 99, it's diverted the business to retail, entertainment, and they built the Avenues Kuwait. So it started this way. So it's diverted from construction company and build up materials to a retail. Now, we established the Avenues Kuwait in many different stages. And we took the idea of the avenues, creating it in the different countries. Now, since we have strategic partners in retail, we have an extra information for the behavior of the retailers and the customers. So we made a good model, I think a successful model in Kuwait, and we try to copy that one and improving it different locations.
The idea of community,
Excuse me?
the idea of community is really central to what you do, right? So it's like the concepts are not just about stores. They're about creating a sense of almost like neighborhood, or I use the word community because it's this sense of making you feel like you're part of something. Can you talk about this blend of retail, hospitality, and community, and why, and what role it plays in the success of the Mabanee group?
We intend to do a small, pleasant community that people gather, socialize, and then they can shop. So the idea is what percentage of entertainment, F&Bs, and the retails. And part of the entertainment and the kids' activities is an important factor. Now, what bring the visitors? Hospitality and office buildings and the business park, and sometimes residential. So we cannot do it in the Avenues Kuwait, but we can do it in the different locations where in the next coming projects, which is Riyadh and Al Khobar and in Bahrain. So we always intend to have a small community where people can come. It's the successful of retail is number of visitors. So we do have, for example, last year is 40 million visitors per year. This year we are expecting more than 48 million visitors per year. So it's creating visitors that will create a successful retailers.
But once you get 48 million people to come, you also need to get them to shop, right? So like,
Exactly.
how does that conversion process happen where, you encourage people to buy something? And I think, in addition to that, I'd love for you to just address, I think the idea of malls in the GCC, it's a very important part of the culture here, right? So like, in certain places, malls in the world, malls are more about a transactional experience. But here, malls are, community gathering, cultural places, and places to shop. And you need to find the right balance between all of that.
You see, in Europe, it's a different situation. In GCC, You, you need to shop in a climate control area. You cannot shop in the summer. In the weather in Kuwait, 7 months, you cannot shop outside. You have to be in. So it's a very limited places or a project that is really climate control. So that's why in GCC there is a lot of malls, shopping malls, different than in Europe. In even United States, some of the hot cities even certain countries, maybe they are successful with malls. In Kuwait, is a climate control is a project is a must. Now, when we mention to bring the people and then they can shop, that doesn't mean we don't make sure that the tenant mix is right, the luxury brand, the low brand, which is the big department store. The entertainment is a must. What is percentage of the entertainment? F&B is a must also, represent more than 20%. So this kind, a tenant mix is a major factor for success for each mall. Now,
what does the right tenant mix look like? So like if you were breaking it down by 100%, what is the magic to creating that right mix?
More than 50% is women.
Okay.
More than 50% has to be women.
Okay.
Women fashion, women leather goods. Then become the jewelry. 20% F&Bs. Maybe 10 to 15% is the entertainment. And the men is less than 10%.
So the men in Kuwait, they're just not interested.
All over.
Okay.
It's all over.
All over.
It's all over.
Okay.
Yeah. But especially in Kuwait is less.
Okay.
Yeah. But kids it needs to have like 10%.
And in addition to that, there's something about the kind of built environment that you're creating as well, right? It's not just about the right mix, it's about the architectural setting, it's about the experience, and in a climate controlled environment, you don't want it to just be, a building. So how do you think about the architecture and the built environment?
The natural light is a major factor for the people feels better or feels good about it. So I tell a story about how we designed phase 3 and phase 4.
Of avenues.
In avenues, Kuwait.
Yeah.
So when I joined, it's already designed phase 1 and phase 2. And I remember with the new board, they want to have new ideas. So I remember we have our designer team and 4 of our Mabanee team and 1 consultant, financial consultant. We went all over the world. I remember Kuwait, Beirut, Barcelona, Madrid, New York, Los Angeles, Hawaii, Tokyo, Singapore, Dubai, Kuwait, with 11 days.
11 days?
Within 11 days.
Okay.
And we have, in the plane, it is the workshop. So we almost designed phase 3 and phase 4, and we went to places that we think it is a fantastic in architect. So we are taking ideas of how we can implement this type or this location or this design into our mall. So in the beginning, it was not like phase 3 and phase 4. It was one phase, but due to a restriction from the municipality, so we made it phase 3 and phase 4. So the idea is you have to be creative in design. People has to feel good where they are going. You have to have the parking is a major factor. The parking, services, the activities during the year, it's a must. So we bring a lot of festival. We bring from Italy, it's a lot of activities, and it could be not planned for the others. We plan it, but we don't mention it because we want the visitors to understand that we are having a lot of activities anytime. So it is a theater. It is an entertainment for us. It's how you make the visitors or customers entertained. And also we have to serve the tenant. The tenant has to be served well and the visitor served well. Safety is number one for us. I think in Avenues Kuwait, I don't think any mall in the world have that much cameras. Kuwait Avenues have 4,700 cameras. We have more than 100 cameras, facial recognition system for unwanted people can be kicked out immediately or recognize the bad people. So security is a must for us, cleanness, maintenance, and serving our tenant and customers. That's our goal here.
So talk to us a little bit about the customer here in Kuwait. I was just talking to Patrick Chaloub about that, but I'm also curious to hear, I remember a time when Kuwait was kind of at the avant-garde of luxury, fashion, and retail in the region, right? And there's been a lot, as Patrick was saying, there's been a lot of development, sometimes very aggressive expansion in other parts of the GCC. But the Kuwaiti customer, particularly the women, are still some of the most discerning, sophisticated, advanced customers in the whole region, if not in the world. Like, talk to us about the customer that you're engaging with, and also the new generation. How is the new generation different from the previous generation?
You see, the Kuwaiti customers they are very smart customers and sensitive. And I think not when you mention the old customer, I would say the new generation, the young generation, it's more effect in trades. The trend is always start from them. They guide the purchase power. It's not the old customer. So we have to be careful with that. See, I would say from the middle of 1990, let's say 1995, 97, when Souk Sharq started, we used to have siesta. So the malls closes at 12 and open, not malls, shopping centers, and open at 4. So when malls started, that's finished. And you see, our mall business, it's really, it's young. It's like 30 years and started like Souk Sharq and then Marina, then became Avenues. Avenues started 2007 from phase 1. Behavior, we went into a transition. I would say now we are mature. So the behavior, we went through behavior. During this transition, it goes through different behaviors. So I think now it's more of a maturity in malls. And what is the behavior, what time? For example, in the past two days, we extended the visitors up to 1 a.m. because of the shopping marathon and Black Friday. The young generation really affects the behavior and the purchase power. The young generation, especially in restaurants. And on the top of that, I have to mention also because we do have a lot of local designers, we have noticed in the past 2 years, the local designers, the local F&B restaurants. It's growing, and it's bringing a lot of traffic. So I think in the future, we have to watch. We think that part is growing.
You know, the wider GCC region has no shortage of shopping malls. I mean, there are shopping malls and real estate and retail developments everywhere here. And I know you're now, expanding your model to other parts of the region and beyond. What do you do to make your properties different? How do you see the Avenues concept as standing out amidst all of these other players opening shopping malls and other retail destinations in the region?
Number one, size.
Size.
Mega mall.
Mega mall.
Yes. So it's very hard for others to replicate it. That's number one. For example, Riyadh will have 1,500 stores, where Kuwait is 1,100 stores. In size,
1,500 stores for someone who can't, like me, maybe visualize on a global scale. Like how big is that as a mall compared to malls we see in the West?
mall in the West, I don't know.
Or what about Dubai Mall?
No, Dubai considered one of the largest malls in the world.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about the malls in China because it's a different formula.
Yeah.
Because China depends on also vertical.
Vertical.
Vertical
Yeah.
also because of the size. So they consider every floor. So China, you can find 600, 700,000 square meter leasable area, where Dubai is around 400. Our mall in Saudi Arabia is at 370. The one in Kuwait, 350. And Emirates Mall is around 360. So this is the idea.
So the scale is huge, basically. So that's one thing.
This is scale. The design. We have to be creative in design. There is no way that you are succeeding if you don't make something new. And natural light has to be there. Services has to be there. And the tenant mix. Every mall now, see, I would say the mall, not a Mall of America, the one in New Jersey, the formula, 50% entertainment, 50% retail. We are not going that far because we are having a huge size, but I think maybe 10 to 15% entertainment. So entertainment became part of the mall for the kids until the teenager, from 2 or 3 till the teenager. So this formula has to be right. Entertainment, the design, and for all components, valued brands and luxury brands. And F&B has to be where you distribute them. Has to be everywhere.
But then when you go to markets, new markets like Riyadh or Jeddah or Bahrain, how are you adapting to the local environment, right? Because you can take the kind of general concept of Avenues Kuwait and you can take it elsewhere, but then each of these markets has its own idiosyncrasies, right? So what do you do to customize to that market?
I mean, the people of the GCC are very close to each other. I mean, you are not rebuilding with a new people that you don't understand. No, I mean the Saudis, the Bahrainis, where we are having project, it's almost like the Kuwaitis. But in Saudi Arabia, they have very small malls, segregated everywhere, and we feel like it's not it does not represent Riyadh. And even the one in Khobar, it does not represent Khobar. So what we are introducing, state of the art. And in fashion or tenant mix, it is the same what we are doing, replicating the same, because it's the same thinking, the same customers.
So just before we conclude, I'm curious that about like where things go next, right? We've been hearing today about the rapid growth of the market in this region, while other parts of the world aren't growing as quickly, particularly like the more traditional established markets in the West. Looking ahead, what are your plans for expansion, for growth, and how do you see the retail market developing?
You see, first of all, GCC have a good purchase power comparing to many other different countries. In Mabanee, we started with a retail or shopping mall, which is our business in retail. We are diversifying our business, so we want to continue doing the shopping mall in a different locations. For example, we are aiming now, the next one will be in Jeddah. We are having now Kuwait avenues. We are going to open Aventura Mall in Kuwait in the end of next summer. We are building Sabah Al Ahmed City, which is Souk Sabah, a small one, traditional one, will be finished within a year and a half from now. Also, we are diversifying our business in hospitality. By the end of 28, we will be having more than 12 hotels. And also we are going into housing projects, vertical housing and horizontal housing, which is an apartment and villas. That's with the government of Kuwait, with also Saudis and Abu Dhabi, and maybe Bahrain. So that's part of diversifying our business in housing, so-called residence, and office buildings, hospitality, and retail. And sometimes you combine these into one small community, and that will create traffic, and just guaranteed that increase the occupancy for tenant. You guarantee the visitors into all of that. So you improve or almost guaranteed occupancy in residential and office buildings and tenant in the mall. So we are focusing on the Gulf now, but we are looking for other type of businesses in some part in Europe and America.
Okay. Well, that's a common theme from today, which is, businesses that were founded and established here are starting to look beyond the region as well, because there's so much expertise and talent that's been cultivated here that will be applicable to other parts of the world. So, Waleed, thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.